Hi friends, this is an interesting question in time, speed and distance. Brishti went on an 8-hour trip in a car. Before the trip, the car had traveled a total of x kilometer till then, where x is a whole number and is palindromic. So x remains unchanged when its digits are reversed. A palindromic number means that x remains unchanged when its digits are reversed. For example, if x is 1 to 1, then 1 to 1 written from left to right and right to left both are same. Or if x is 232, then from left and right it is same. Or if x is 323, then also from left to right it is same. At the end of the trip, the car had traveled total of 26862 kilometers, which is also palindromic. We can see that 26862 read from left side or right side both gives us the same number. So Brishti never drove at more than 110 kilometers per hour than the greatest possible average speed at which she drove during the trip in kilometers per hour was how much? So total distance at the end of the trip is 26,862. This includes the distance which the car had traveled before the trip and the distance it travels in the 8 hours of the trip. So x kilometers before 8 hours and then 8 hours, and both are palindromic. So to maximize the speed in 8 hours, we need to maximize the distance traveled in 8 hours, and we need to minimize the distance traveled by the car before the trip starts. So we need to minimize x. Basically 26862 equal to x kilometers plus d kilometers. We have to maximize d kilometers, so we have to minimize x kilometers. Since Brishti drove at less than 110 kilometers per hour, hence she must have traveled less than 110 into 8, that is 880 kilometers in the last 8 hours. So she traveled 880 kilometers maximum in the last 8 hours. So she traveled more than 26862 minus 880, that is 25982. So she traveled more than 25982 kilometers before the last 8 hours. Now we have to find the minimum palindromic number which is greater than 25982, and that is 26062. We'll have to do it empirically, that the least palindrome greater than 25982 will be 26062, because if we take 25052, then we can take 25052, but that is less than 25982. So we have to take 26062, which is the palindromic number which is least but greater than 25982. So the car traveled 26062 kilometers before the trip, and hence maximum distance traveled by the car during the trip is 26862 minus 26062, that is 800 kilometers. So the average speed for the trip will be 800 kilometers by 8 hours, which gives us 100 kilometers per hour.